so this looks kind of hard. I mean, we also have Tech ER next week too, so Tech ER could surprise and just kind of carry the market up, or it could just kind of surprise and just really tank the market hardcore if they don't meet expectations. And I think if there's one sector that had high expectations, it's probably the tech sector, because they continue to outperform, so everybody's gonna expect them to outperform. And if they can't outperform and meet the expectation, then it's gonna chop or go down. But the banks, they did really well. Extremely good earning for almost all the banks except for a select few, and they still took a beating, so it's tricky.
I'll be right back.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, tech's always had a major influence, especially with like Amazon, Apple, and all those big fours, those fangs. They always had a major influence on the market. So I was expecting for SPY to hit a double top before I start another short spread, but we didn't get that. It just barely touched it. Same with QQQ. I was really waiting for it. I was like, man, it's so close. You know, just give it to me. But it didn't. Missed it by a tiny bit. So kind of disappointed about that. And XOF was just so crazy. It has such a big run, and finally chopped down a little bit, giving us a buying opportunity. But it's always been able to recover. So you can see that here, and here, and here, right? So it's been able to recover quite a few times. Let's look at the sector. Let's look at some of the other stuff. So going to Monday, I would be long XOF right now and short the Qs. And watch the dollar index. You can also long the dollar index with a UUP. So let's look at some of the other stuff. Oh, nice. You're already long USD. By investing US equities. Let's see. So we're looking at Bitcoin. I was expecting some rejection here. We didn't hit it either. So if Bitcoin start going down this weekend, then we'll know what happened. looking for a pullback to 340 at least on SPY. But the ES chart looks more bearish, which is good, which is kind of good because this is the futures and it should be looked at more often than SPY. I think that's where a lot of people make the mistake. Yeah, and the daily NQ looks very bearish. This is a crude oil. It's climbing up actually. It's been building momentum. So that's where I'm actually worried. Because usually when oil is starting to climb up and build the momentum, then market is bullish. That's one thing that I was looking at that's worrying me a little bit. Gold still hasn't gone down. It's still holding this trend now. This was the resistance before and kind of broke over a little bit and it's been using as support. Yeah, probably if it's gonna bounce, it's probably gonna bounce later in the week, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, or maybe even like Thursday and Friday this time. One thing that's extremely bullish still is copper futures. So that's something I've been investing in for a while. I was able to cut the bottom. I invested in copper by buying FCX. So yen future is actually gonna reverse down. Yen futures down. I mean, market up. Bond just got rejected too. We played bond on Tuesday. I took some calls on TLT because I thought it was gonna be able to hit 164. It didn't, but we still got 30% out of it. But it's an extreme slow mover. The reasoning and opportunity was there. Well, the other thing I like copper is that, you know, copper is part of the material sector, and the whole material sector has been booming, has been having a huge run, you know, notably with gold and silver, but copper actually was so far behind, it hasn't even had that super run yet. So I'm expecting copper to have, you know, a stronger run just because when the price of one item goes up, you generally increase the price of the whole market, the whole sector, which copper is part of that mining sector. Yeah, and then you have all these other commodities that's been like breaking out for 2 months now. Me and Jimmy actually tried to buy the dip and we sold too early. We even got stopped out at some point. But goddamn, look at it. I drew this line a while back. So that's corn futures, which makes sense, right? If the dollar is losing value, these things should be running. It's like, this is the only thing that makes the most fundamental sense right now. Like, these are such basic materials. Wheat, soybeans, and corn, you know, for them to be running makes like most sense out of anything else in this whole market right now. Because you can see like in 08, 09 to like 10, They didn't really break out, but then when the market started to recover, they completely broke out. But for us, March, happened here. They recover and then came back down even harder, which didn't make sense at all. Should have been up here, because the market recovers so well. The market is around here, and we finally just caught up to the market, which took a long time. Made no sense at all. Same thing with pork. Pork is breaking out like crazy, which is completely reasonable. It's just breaking even from before the market dropped, so it still has some opportunity to go a little bit higher, a few more dollars. And you know what? What's even crazy is that we know the price of meat has gone up ridiculous already. It should actually be like above here. It should be $80, because price of meat is way more expensive. So that was a weird thing, very weird. When you're talking about fundamental things, it's just very odd to see those things. That's why I track them, and I look at them every week. But that's for older players though. Like most younger people won't even give a crap about these things, so that's why it's not even running. Because majority of the investors are young and they don't give a crap. Not even investors, traders. They don't know about that stuff. By trading age, anyways, if we're not, the medium trading ages right now is probably 16 to like 20. Maybe 20, 23, 16 to 23. And we're way above that medium. We're like an anomaly right now. We're like 10%. We're like the 10%. Everybody else is like mad young. Because I had a lot of people that reach out to me that like just getting into the market and they're like 16. I even had some kid tell me he was like, I think he was like 12 and he was managing his dad's portfolio of 200K. Wondering if he should invest in like a Shell, SHLL, which was the company that was before HYLN. Crazy, man. So I took some leaps into this company, Kohl's, American clothing company. Pretty big. I'm pretty favorable on them because they have some partnership with Amazon. They've been gaining some popularity here and there. I can't see how much worse they're gonna perform. It says they're gonna perform even worse for the next quarter somehow. I don't see how. I don't know. Oh, last quarter they lost. They estimated negative 88 cents, and they reported 30 cents. So this quarter they estimated negative 51 cents. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them like beat expectation again. I mean, today they said everybody was spending, right? So I think it's good. You would think. This is the only company that I don't like. I know everybody loves them, but they're notorious for taking people's money when you're playing options with them, because that's what Boeing does. It just chokes. Look at them. It barely moves that much. So if you're playing options, you're just gonna get burned. Unlike a solid American company like this, like Caterpillar, they make machineries and stuff, and they just keep going up. This is the kind of stock that you want to be playing. Yeah, I mean, Asia retail sales been going up. It hasn't even stopped. So that's why I was extremely surprised to see some of the Asian retailers not performing as well 2 weeks ago when we went long. Oh yeah, I forgot. I also took 600 to 590 put spread on this. So we'll see how it goes. I want to see it hit at least 550 ish, like 555 ish. That's my goal. Oh yeah, so we saw that Del Taco is performing pretty well in terms of COVID. Um, I think Domino's also reported like a week or two ago, and they performed pretty well. So we're probably gonna look for Shake Shack to have a decent, okay ER, even though it has almost made a complete recovery, which is pretty wild, man. But if they drop, we'll look for that buying opportunity, hopefully. $63, $64 area. Yep, that's where I had the alert, 65. So we'll look for that buying opportunity there. And then Amazon said today that all the e-commerce company was doing extremely good and they were taking away their business. So Shopify might be an opportunity somewhere. Oh yes, CMG. Wow, look at this. Almost full recovery. Yeah, the guidance is very strong. So last time the estimate was 35 cents. This time they estimated them to do $3.44. So they might actually flop because that's such a big guidance. They expect them to be fully recovered. So today I took a long in utilities, which is Verizon. Um, Notably, one of the America's like bigger cell phone companies. They do internet and cell phone and TV too, and their media company. They also own I think Yahoo.com. So it's a pretty huge company overall. Um, but they're just like such a old school dividend stock that they don't move as much. So I expect them to have a pretty decent year coming up, October 21st. I think it's buying opportunity if it hits 57.70ish. That's why I have an alert here. But I already took a starter position today. I was like, forget it, man. Oh yeah, you're right. Taco did dump pretty hard. Yeah, that was a little surprising. They beat the ER2. Report was decent. Everything was decent, but I guess it was just because the guidance was the analyst estimate was expecting them to do 15 cents, and they did that. They did do that. Whereas last quarter they were negative 2 cents, right? So they guided so low, but you know. So we'll probably look for buying opportunities if it even hits this area. If it even hits like 756 or 760, it's probably a good buying opportunity. You see support here and support there. Some supports here. yeah, just in general, the $7-ish area is good, strong. There was nothing in the report that said they weren't doing good. They were opening new stores, so that's good too. Southern Co. is another utility company. It's one of America's bigger utility companies. Didn't have a pretty good run up, so I'm kind of surprised Verizon isn't running up like that. It's a communication company, but similar in a way. Tiger's Tail Spot. Thanks for following, man. Appreciate it. And then we have the weed sector. Huge run up. I think we've been calling it for a while, right? I got in around here. And just kind of been holding shares and huge run up. Yeah. So I actually picked up the MJ ETF. I was trying to sell. At $12, but I wonder if I got fill. I have to check my 401k. But I'm still bullish on this long term. I think the weed industry is still very good long term. I don't see why not. The MJ ETF, it just has all the weed companies combined together instead of betting on one. This came up and down today, came back down. Took a starter position in DKNG right here. I'm looking to add if it hits $40. So either it's gonna bounce here or either it's gonna bounce at $40. But the last time I waited for the bottom, I missed a huge reversal. So I didn't want to miss that again. So I just got in a little small position. I got out of this already because it hit my stop loss, which kind of sucked. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I mean, but I just took a starter position, so super tiny position at DKNG. Kind of like when we went into Pepsi, right? And you know, we took a starter position and just kind of had it more. I don't know what happened with TSM. I didn't even get to see the report. I'm gonna have to look more into it. But I think it just ran up so much before ER because everybody expected good ER. And it looks like they did beat by 9%, but not much. And they didn't do any crazy announcement like we expected them. They just didn't say shit. Freaking weird. Yeah, so this is the FANG stocks. They look like they've been weak. The FANG Plus, SOXL.